Hello everybody, and late Merry Christmas. I hope everybody had a wonderful Christmas, and I apologize for the whole rescheduling of this live. Honestly, my intention was to, excuse me, to have it on Christmas Day. Hi Sonia and Donna. But unfortunately, last week's Thursday when I went, the Thursday before Christmas, when I went to get my to the orthopedist and got the shot in the shoulder, apparently I got a cold bug. So I spent a very unhappy, on one hand, Christmas, because I was horribly congested and dizzy, and I couldn't talk too much. I had very deep chest congestion and I couldn't breathe properly. That's why I was dizzy. And the other thing was that I had head congestion. It was like I had a 7-story building sitting on my head. But at least we are here, and let's hope that I get to be on for a longer time so I can show you not just the gnomes but something else. Hi Sharon, hi Arlena, hi June, hi Doris. So another thing is that I did, for the ones of you who watched my previous short live, I did get a beautiful Christmas present, a little Munchkin Minuet kitten. The Minuets are, hi Elaine. If you're not familiar with it, the Munchkins, actually there are two Munchkin lines that come from the main Munchkin. One of them is the Scottish Fold Munchkin, and the other one is Munchkins bred with Persians, and they are long-haired. Finnegan is not a standard, so he doesn't have those tiny short legs. He has longer legs, not as long as a regular cat. But he is adorable. Hi Pamela, hi Messy Gypsy, hi Ellen. So I fed him before the live in the idea that he's going to be fed and tired, because you know how kittens get and children get tired after eating. So hopefully no meows. But I can tell you, if he decides that he wants something, he meows, and he's got a little face. He scrunches his nose, and he goes from angelic kitten to evil kitten looking in half a second flat. Hi Tina, hi Donna. So let's go ahead and start with the gnome houses. Now I'm going to show you how to make small gnome houses that can be used for earrings. Of course, you can make bigger gnome houses to use them as tree decoration, even if it's kind of past tree decoration time. Only that I advise you to use as a filling toilet paper or paper towels, moistened and then packed in a sphere, and let them dry, and then cover with clay, so you wouldn't use so much clay, and they would be light. Hi Anna. Oh yes, he did. I can tell you, he is something else. He's just, what is absolutely melting my heart is that he's quite mellow, and he's a little love bug. He just loves to be loved on, and he loves on me as well. So I will keep posting. If you look on my Facebook, I keep posting photos of him. Probably I need to make him his own Facebook page, because there are so many people who are interested in him. Okay, so to start with, I am going to, what the heck, I forgot to bring a smaller cutter, but we are going to just use. So the idea is to use the same cutter. It doesn't matter really what shape the cutter is. It's just to measure, for the purposes of measuring. So you would have both earring the same size. So I'm going to use my cutter to cut 2 pieces of clay, and then I'm going to make them into beads. Hi Joyce. No, you're not late. I just started like 4 minutes ago. Alrighty, so rub the beads, make the beads in your palms, and even if you get this little, it can be covered by the roof, until you have no folding lines. Remember that when you put together the clay like this, it's going to have these folding lines whenever you make a bead and you want to not have those showing. Thank you, Maggie. Yes, I am sure he will. He already does. The big guys are not very happy about the whole thing. And amazingly, I was expecting Connor to be the accepting one because he practically raised Seamus, but Connor is the most unhappy kitty in the world. The first day, he just kept hissing all the time. Now he's able to be around without hissing, so that's a good thing. Okay, so we have 2 balls. I recommend that you make them white because it's white house walls, so that is by far the easiest way. Now you can make them as is, or you can put them on a small base. And to put them on a small base, you can use anything. And all you have to do is to just cut a little bit here and then just put a, actually let's do one with a base and one without a base. That would be the best thing. So let me cut a little bit here, because all you need is a little flat spot. And then I'm going to get a pinch, and here you do the exact same thing, measuring for both. I am going to do another little bead. And again, with no folding lines. And then all I'm going to do is to flatten it. I got a little bit too much. Or you can respectively just use a round cutter. And I should use a round cutter on this thing. Let me do. I'm avoiding right now to get up because I'm right before my pain pill is going to stop working. That's why I said, please remind me at the sharp of the hour to take a pill, please, because you know how I get caught up in what I'm doing. Okay, so you will have this as base, and of course you can put a few little beads here to look like stones or something. Then your next thing will be to make a little door, and for this you can use mud clay. Hi Black Onyx Cat, thank you. You can use mud clay, and I'm going to just get this little piece, and I'm going to get with it through the machine on a very thin setting. Okay, so it's like an 8. All right, so my next thing will be to actually cut it. Where's my eyes? Okay, there they are. Sorry, remember now I have to wear these. Okay, so we don't want the door to be too big. And you can make it square, or you can use a tiny cutter to make it half a circle if you want to. Or you can simply round up the corners. I'm going to cut this in 2. And for rounding up, your best bet is either your X-Acto knife or a needle. I'm going to gently flatten this in place. And trust me, you don't have to be perfectly symmetrical. Just don't make the sizes too big. No, his name is Finnegan O'Sullivan, actually. Because he's TICA registered. I'm not going to breed him. He's going to be neutered, but we have to wait for a while because he's still too tiny. He's coming from the picket fence, originally picket fence cattery. And his daddy's name is Picket Fence Atticus O'Sullivan. So Finnegan O'Sullivan. Okay, so we have now 2 little doors. Now, the other thing that we want to do, let me actually get this a little bit closer and wide, bigger, zoom in. Finnegan in Irish means little white one. So there's a reason why he was named Finnegan, because I have kind of a tradition of naming my cats Irish, with Irish names. It started with the first orange cat. Okay. I have the best. And there we go, best focus. So, next what you want to do is again using your X-Acto knife or a needle. Let me see if I have a needle already available to show you how to do it with a needle. What you want is to do some lines, not very deep, but you want to do some very close lines. Let me make this a little bit brighter. Better. And don't start at the bottom, start at the top, because you see how you're getting a little bit of a raggedy look when you do that. Now, your next move, hold on, I didn't get the lines all the way through on this one. Your next move is to get, let me put them here so they'll be easily. Two little strips for each of the doors. And another thing that you want to do to give it even more realism, let me just grab it. I'm going to grab some chalk pastels. And then first get some dark brown or black. It's up to you how you want to what you want to use. And I don't need a lot of it, right? And get that. Good afternoon, Fran. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Isabel. Hi, Chris. And I'm going to put it in here and try to get it in the recesses really good, in those lines that I just made. Then, now you can do tape if you want, but I'm going to tell you something. At this size, it's kind of hard to control what you're taping, and I'm talking about removing the excess. So your best bet, make sure that your finger is relatively clean, and just gently wipe a little bit. The next thing that I'm going to get is, you can get either white or like an off-white, see, like this. And I'm going to do this time I am going to grab it on my finger and make sure that I don't have a lot of, see, just like this, you need to, and then gently wipe, but don't wipe in the length of the lines. Okay, so now we have wooden little doors. Weathered wood. Okay. And don't get rid of it yet, because we are going to use the chalk pastels on at least one of the windows. Hi, Natalia. Now, while I'm working on this, why don't you tell me what was the best present that you loved the most in your Christmas? Because I am curious. What did you enjoy the most? It can be a material present, or it can be a, you know, a non-material present. And I'm going to take a little bit of mica and get it on the little strips. So here again, you have to be very careful and don't get a lot. We just need them to be gently shiny. And I'm using the Perfect Pearls. So they are slightly shiny, as you can see. Now, the next thing, don't put these on yet, okay? Your next thing will be to get the doors on the little beads. That is wonderful. Oh, those sounds like awesome Christmas presents. Now for the next step, remember that this got powdered on it, so you might have issues getting the little strips to get on it. So what I'm going to do is just very gently get just a little bit of bacon bond. And get a line here. Of course, you can make them way simpler than what I'm doing here, but I'm showing you how to make a little bit more fancy gnome houses. Just because they're so tiny, there's no reason to not make them a little fancy. Thank you, Natalia. That is awesome, Ellen. Even if that would be the only thing you get for Christmas for years to come, I'm sure you'll be happy. You'd be happy with it. All right. Now that I did this, let's put the little strips on. And I'm going to use the X-Acto knife. And you can do them even thinner than this. I'm going to do the other one thinner. Let's make these even thinner. Yeah, I turned it upside down. And then we need a little doorknob on each of them. Awesome. Yeah, it's kind of hard to get in this very tiny place. So just make tiny, tiny, tiny droplets. Okay. There you are. And then flatten it a little bit for the doorknob. Kind of put it between the two strips, okay? And flatten it a little bit. And then again, hi Carol. And then again, just a tiny pinch of, it's gonna be very hard to use my finger for that. So I'm going to use a little bit of, because you want the doorknob also metallic looking. Okay. Now the next thing would be to make some windows, right? And to make the windows, going to get the same. So this is raw sienna, by the way. You can use raw sienna, you can use burnt sienna, you can use mud clay that's kind of muddish, obviously. So I'm going to make 2 little strings. Don't need this anymore. And remember, to make the strings, you first create the thicker string, and then you hold here, and with your acrylic block you keep pulling. And we want these strings very, very thin. Thank you, Carol. Okay, it's okay if they break, because you will only need 2 small pieces. Okay, this should be thin enough. And I'm going to grab now. What I recommend to you is to create them first on something. Don't put them directly on the raw clay, because you're gonna have a little bit of a problem to move them around. And make sure that these 2 ends are well stuck together, because you saw what happens if they aren't. And then use your blade to grab the whole thing, and you have it like this. And then simply, how you want to put it here, just put it upside down. Let's do a second little mirror window. And you'll see, I remember that, yes, glass seed beads were great too. Remember that this next Saturday is the first Saturday, not just of the month, but of the year as well. So obviously there's going to be a live when I chat with you. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to do something for the new year, I mean for the 1st of January. I will try, but I'm trying right now to catch up on stuff. The good part of all of this is that finally my shoulder is barely bothering me at all. Only when I try to lift my arm on the side. And also, I guess that they finally hit on my thyroid medication, because I've been feeling much less tired in the last couple of days. And I shouldn't have been, because with all the excitement with Finnegan and recovering from a bad cold and trying to get the house ready for Finnegan and catching up with things, I should be pooped out, and I'm not. So I guess that finally the thyroid meds got no, I didn't hear that, Tina. Okay, and it's up to you where you want to place the. Let's see, on this one I'm gonna place them a little bit higher, on this one I place them a little bit lower. And if you notice, yes, I do. Another thing that you can use for windows is simply jump rings. But I'm showing you how to do it with clay if you don't have jump rings, because not everybody's making jewelry and has jewelry findings around the house. Hi Marietta. Sorry I didn't notice you. Okay, let's get the second one. Then something that is optional that you can do. Again, I'm going to grab the chalk pastels. And this time I'm going to get a little bit of gray. Just a tiny bit. And then we are going to place a little bit of gray in the windows. Now, what else works great with gnome houses? We can make a few flowers and things. Okay, I'm going to get some green and again do a, but only on the one with the base. The other one doesn't look that good if you stick stuff on the very bottom. Hi Eugenia. Okay, sorry, I need to go take my pills. Just a second. But yeah, it was funny when Connor Friday, when Finnegan arrived, he was just exploding all over the place. He's super funny when it comes to hissing. And he practically, when he hisses, it looks like it's an explosion. He goes... And he was doing that all the time. I mean, I was amazed, even when he was getting brushed. Yeah, you can. You definitely can. Not for the door, though. If you don't have chalk pastels, check your eyeshadow. That works too. Okay, now I'm going to go even thinner than this. And there we go, some super thin stuff. And let's make a bunch of grass. Let's make another bunch of grass. Just checking if I'm in the... But you want to make sure that the clay is flush with the walls of the little house, because otherwise, remember that especially if you have a longer hair, your hair is going to get caught in the little grass and it's going to break it. And can you do something else? Yes, let's make a little flower on top of one of these grasses. And again, I got a bead that I'm going to string out. But only that this time I'm going to cut it. Usually 5 should be good. And then I'm going to rub these a little bit so that the ends are a little bit wedged. Yes, Catherine, you can do a lot of stuff. I'm just showing it, use a lot of stuff. I'm just showing how to make these without many tools. And findings and expense. Okay. So for the next thing, I'm going to get a toothpick and kind of flatten the very middle here to make little petals. And then grab the petals and arrange them. Let's get it on the back here. And let's just grab a little bit of another color for the middle. What color do I have here? Just this green. Yes, you can use, I said you can use jump rings for the windows. So let's make a little middle for that flower. I hope to, as I said, I hope to be able to sit for a little bit because I'm hoping to be able to show you how to do a fairy door earrings. Okay, so we have our little house. Now the thing is to get some roof on it, right? So one of my most favorite ones for colors for these roofs is the wasabi. Okay, let me get this out a little bit. It's too. I'm gonna try and get a little bit out of the zooming. Okay, so I'm going to get this on medium thin setting, like on a 7 on a Makins. It's not Happy New Year, but I think we need to wait a little bit. Okay, I said a 7. You know what? Let's make it a 6. Alright, and on this you do need a round cutter. Let me grab one. And you want it to be a little bit bigger, but not by much. A little bit bigger than your bead. So this should be just perfect, the smallest of them. Hi, Colleen. So, nah, you know what? I'm gonna use the next one. So, there's a little trick on these. Going to cut 2 rounds. And then you can use for this stylus, ball stylus, you can use a paintbrush handle, you can use all kinds of things. But ideally what you need to do, place it in the middle. And start shaping. Actually, let me get the paintbrush handle, it's much easier to do that. And you gently start pinching it. Don't let it go away. Sorry, I have a little bit of issues with pinching stuff. Okay, that's not going to work with my hands. Hold on a second, let me try this. So, if we do this, I cannot shape it properly. So, a bead, and then let's taper it. No, this is too much. Just bring the clay down. Then keep pinching. Till the very end you need to get it a little bit stringy. And then coil it. And then we can place it on the little house. Now for these, you actually, your best bet into there we go. Your best bet to get these attached to the ear wire is to use those little eye screws. So let's do another one, and I'm going to still do the little wedge because I cannot pinch properly. Okay, so a circle, then make a bead. Taper it. And I'm getting hot because Finnegan is a little cold. And the friend is going to make him a little sweater because he's on the ground. I cannot, that cage is too big for to be put off higher on the ground. And with winter being here and me living in a house, the ground can get cold. And we didn't even hit the colds of this winter. So I'm keeping the temperature in the house about a degree higher than I normally do. Okay, so place it over the bead, bring it down. At this point, when you bring it down, you'll be able to get it unruffled and then start pinching up the end until you can do an extreme tapering. And then you can start rolling it. No, I did a great thing. I just got it stuck on the blade. And place it on the little house. Oops. Excuse me. And there you go, we have two little, yes, I did, thank you, June. Two little gnome houses. And as I said, after you bake, you use your, bake them standing up. For the one that doesn't have a base, simply grab a little bit of, you can put it in a fan folded paper, or you can grab a little bit of aluminum foil and scrunch it and make a dip with the bowl stylus and place it there. And after they are baked, you simply drill a little bit of a hole here, and then using like, remember that I prefer the Loctite, 2 parts Loctite, put a small eye screw, and then you can simply attach it to your ear wires. You can see it's a little bit time consuming and minutious, but the result is absolutely adorable. Now let me try something before I do, because we can do the fairy doors next time, but just because I saw Colleen here and she asked me, let me see if I have the stamina. If I have the stamina for something. In just a second. Okay, so this is Living Doll. Just a minute to soften it a little bit. You know what's coming, huh, Colleen? Okay, so Living Doll is pretty much the best that you can use, because, and don't condition it don't add a lot of clay conditioner to make it too soft, because it's not going to hold the details. Then there's somebody on the TV using some kind of power tool. I left the TV on because it seems to make Finnegan shut up. He feels like he's not alone. So, considering the other guys are all sulking in the bedroom. Alright, so I'm going to make some beads first. And I will show you the two variants of this. Okay, let's see, what size should it be? I think this should be good. And we are going to do it the easy way, so that even somebody who just began doesn't have to work too much on them. Now, your other bead has to be about almost twice the size of your first bead. And this first bead has to be perfectly round. And don't worry, once it's baked, it's not going to be so shiny. Okay, so I got my other bead, and I'm going to cut it in two. And make it again in beads. I just did that so they would be equal. Okay, now what we want to do is to gently taper. And you don't want it to look squarish, you want it to be still round. So gently taper. So I need to end up with something like this. This one is actually a little bit more tapered. Now, the next thing, this will have to be very careful. The next thing, just grab your finger and see, this would be about halfway, and press. Do the same thing on this one, only the symmetrical way, and press. Now make sure that your tapering didn't get smooshed or anything. Now your next thing is to bring it, the tapering, a little bit. See, make a little on the opposite side to where you did the depression, and gently flatten. So the same thing, gently flatten and round it up a little from the side you did the depression on. But don't lose your depression. The depression is very important. I kind of want to make it look a little bit triangularish. Okay, now gently press on the opposite side of the depression. It's okay if it looks a little knobby. That's perfect. You still don't know what I'm doing. I guess only Colleen knows at this point. And you can start, if you want to make it less knobbish, just simply rub your finger over and it's going to smooth out beautifully. Now let's grab another little piece and this time we are going to get it first into a bead, then into a cylinder, then into a little bit of a string. For purposes of measurement, essentially. So, considering the size, you want to be about 1/3. So the thickness of this piece at the thinnest point, no, not face, and then about 1/3 of the distance between here and here. And we need 2 of these. And we're gonna make them in a little bit elongated beads. Now we are going to thin out a little bit more and get smaller beads. The same length, only thinner, and again make them a little elongated. You don't want them to be too pointy though. Now again, more. And 2 beads. And you don't even have to, you can stop at 4 pairs if you want to. So now we have 3 pairs of beads. Let's make 1 more pair. And the last pair will be tiny. And yes, you can make these smaller or even this size if you like big earrings. All right, now just place them here for now. Pretty much like this. No, this is the smallest. No, it is not. This is the one. And bring them over a little. Again, start with the largest one. Next one. Next one. Next one. And bring them over a little. No, I made these a little bit too big, so let me make the central bead, because I just wanted to show you how to make it. Let me make the central bead a little bit bigger. Footsies, yes, footsies. Okay, so, and these need to be about the size of the central bead. Now we need one more bead, not very big. And of course you can, before you do anything, you can practically smooth this down more if you want to, but it's fine if you don't smooth them down a lot. And we're gonna place a little nose here, and then I'm going to get some clay on the thickest setting. And this thing, what you want is something that would be about the size of the whole thing. And one more. Let me go to the largest one. And the same as before, because I have issues doing that. Is this enough? No. Going to make a tapered bead. Yep, a baby gnome. Oh, taper, taper, taper. Only here, be careful and do one more thing. Make it a dip in here so it will sit better on your baby gnome's head. Okay, look at that here. And then again, only this one, as you can see, it's a little bit thicker, and you can actually go along and do some. Where's my, I don't know, where's my cosmetic sponge? Oh, I didn't get around to clean here. I'm telling you, it was so bad. Every little thing that I was doing was tiring me so much because I couldn't breathe right. So my brain wasn't getting enough oxygen. So every little thing that I was doing was making me super tired. So I didn't do much around Christmas. Good thing I had a lot of things that one could snack on, but I practically lived on guaifenesin and vitamin C. Okay, and now we can start. Getting this. Oh, it's not the very middle. And again, the same technique. Spiral it some, and then you can push it a little bit out of center. And check again that you didn't lose your, what did I do that? That you didn't lose your little dip here, because that's important to place it on the head better. And it has to go kind of like here. So not on the very top, but think that the little guy is going to be here, like this. So you want to bring it kind of like here, because you want to bring the whole I got it a little wrong, but that's fine. You want to bring the hat all the way down to his nose, because that's why you didn't make eyes. And these are done in various ways. You can put little nipples in their mouth. I didn't put it perfectly straight, but you get the idea. You can make a little hole here and just put a couple teeth, but essentially, let me turn the camera a little. Essentially, this is how they get done. And I put this wrong, I put it too much to the right, but this has to come all the way on top of the fingers, and here like something like this. But the idea was that I wanted to show Colleen how to make better feet. And don't, one very important thing, if you want to do little wrinkles, it is super important, do not do them like this, because it will not look right. If you do them like this, it just looks like cuts. Your best bet is to get something more like the blunt edge, and when you do this, do like this, because you want these wrinkly things to be a little bit rounded. You don't want them to be too straight, just a cut. So you want a little bit of roundness on this. You want them to be like this, not like this. Okay, and as I said, you can make them small and you can wear them as earrings. But essentially this is it. And I hope, I don't know, maybe next Sunday we can make fairy doors, miniature fairy doors for earrings and stuff. But I can tell you that I have in project already, I've been working on the fairy house with and without wood texture, and hopefully soon it will be. But as I got interrupted by shoulder issues and other things, so I'm going now to go lay down and cuddle with Finnegan and spend the rest of the Sunday just resting a bit, because I'm still, as I said, I'm still recovering. I'm not fully recovered, and you heard the very beginning when I started talking, I had some coughing to do. So, but I'm tiring much less easily than I used to. So hopefully everything will start differently in this new year without me finding dead neighbors. Okay. See you all Saturday, because remember, Saturday is the monthly, and it's gonna be first of the year, first chat of the year. And then next Sunday probably we'll do little fairy doors and other stuff. Who knows? Thank you so much. Yeah, happy kitty kisses. Thank you so much, and I will see you Saturday. Thank you all. I love you all, and have a happy new year. If you don't see me coming up on the new year to do that, happy new year. Have a great Sunday.